Oh my God, so fancy meeting you here in the daytime while there's still some sunshine out here. How miraculous. Happy day 76. And you're like breezy. Oh my gosh, I thought you were a vampire because I always see you in the darkness. Well, you know, today I just got off a phenomenal Zoom call in my mentorship group with a woman that I just respect so much. And while I'm hot and just heavy on this injection of just radical audacity, I'm like, girl, you have a phone call with your friend tonight, so might as well just. I'm usually working at this time. I designated time, and nobody's gonna really know the sacrifices you make to evolve yourself or to progress yourself. I'm in a group with people who are majority on the East Coast or Midwest. For the most part, they look stable. For the most part, being in this container is not like the I'm sure they're leveraging something, but in my case, I can only speak for my case, I'm leveraging everything to be a part of this great community. And this is the last time that my coach is going to be teaching this class. So I had to be in it. And I asked God for the signs. If you look at my video, um, there's something like allowing the miracles to happen once you get out of the way. I broke down how the signs ended up coming to me to take this class. So while I am just tenderized with being told about myself, about just the realities of what we think is real and what is our own BS, when somebody can call that out and actually name it, you can then have the choice of whether you want to choose to continue to act in such a way, or you can have the awareness enough to choose differently. So, going off the topic of these last few days, I wanted to kind of to wrap this up with we talked about the emotional needs we're actually craving and why it isn't food. We are craving something outside of food. We are longing for something outside of instant gratification. So today we're going to talk about how to meet your emotional needs without food. Baby girl has had to learn how to meet my emotional needs without my clutch, without my drug, without my dopamine hit, without that immediate satisfaction of eating something and feeling full or feeling dense. And once you bring awareness to why you do what you do, I don't know another way, a better way of saying it, but you must act immediately, not eventually. You acting eventually is what has kept you in this cyclical hell. It's been hell. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't try to lighten the load. Don't try to soften it. It's been hell. And when you're desperate enough to get out of hell, you actually take a seat and are willing to witness everything that's going around you, how you react. You're willing to put on the lab coat and actually have an identity experiment with yourself. And now you don't have to do it. I chose to do it through fasting. You don't have to do it through fasting. You can do it through therapy. You can do it through rekindling with your family. You can do it through hopping on the trampoline. Oh, it's this way. Hopping on the trampoline. I love my rebounder. I'm moving things around like in this area. So I'm trying to figure out what works best and what maximizes my space most. But also keeping the things I use every single day. I use my rebounder every single day. I use my vibration plate every single day. I use my treadmill every single day. So I use my juice every single day. And I'm creating the environment to reflect what the person that I'm striving to be, what they actually do. Now, cleanliness, organization, we got to get, I know I got clothes and stuff in the back. Oh my gosh, I would have drove my mother crazy. Crazy. ADHD. Don't blame it on all that. It's not always all that. So If food has been your comfort, your reward, your escape, your relief, the question isn't just how to stop. You have to go a step further and realize what's going to be there to replace it. Like when people typically have addictions, they usually trade one addiction for another. How many recovering cocaine addicts do we see in the gym? Not judging, just stating. Typically, people who have had high addiction, they want to channel that compulsiveness and that obsession into another area. And of course, going to the gym, nobody's going to look down on that. You might get a good body out of it. You may get some, mental clarity out of it. But it also still means you're still running and you have not chosen to face what you've been running from. Why do you need to soothe? Why do you need that stimulation? Why do you need that dopamine hit? You need something to just remind you you're alive. And some people just, they're baby, just like Maybelline, they're born with it. Is that Maybelline or CoverGirl? One of them. Sweetheart, they're just born with it. But not all of us are. Majority of us are using it for a distraction, some type of release, some type of relief. What are we using for food to replace? You can't remove a coping mechanism without replacing the need it was meeting. Now, in my previous videos, I broke down like what self-worth, what you might crave when your self-worth is being challenged, what you might crave when you're feeling lonely, what you might crave when you're feeling anger, when you're feeling sadness, when you're feeling rage. I think those are great indicators to correlate of why you feel what you feel. Food wasn't random. Maybe you saw somebody, your family cook with food. You always got food when mommy yelled at you. You always got food when you didn't get Christmas gifts. You always got food when she was late picking you up. You always got food when the household was stressed. Food was used as a distraction. Food was used as a coping mechanism. It was used as comfort, distraction, grounding, stimulation, relief, whatever. You don't break the habits. You get to a point where you just want to outgrow what they're doing for you. Eating copious amounts of food is killing you. It's blocking your blessings. It's stopping your body's natural way of what say it like that? Rehabilitating its homeostasis, yeah. Because you're constantly digesting. You're constantly eating. You're constantly thinking about food, how you're going to get food, what you're going to eat, instead of actually facing the problems that you have at hand. What's the point of keep running? Nobody runs forever. Either let it catch up to you or turn around and face it like the big girl, the big boy that you are. Nothing in this universe is more scary than you. Nothing's more intimidating than you. You know, you created those entities. You created your alter ego. You created your ego. You created those fears. The devil can only meet you at your level. So you've created an entity just as brilliant as you, just as genius as you, just as manipulative as you, just as persuasive as you, just as enticing as you, just as magnetic as you, but to go in the opposite direction. That is still not a figment of your imagination. That's just a figment of your entirety. So yes, it's going to know how you think. It's going to know how you've coped in the past. It's going to know how you solve problems. It's going to know how you run away from problems. I get the most random, intense urges of cravings because my body, my mind, those parasites, whatever it is, they know, oh, she's only gone like 3 weeks before when she fasted the last time. We just gotta hold out until she crashes again. We just gotta hold out until some bad news happens again. We just gotta hold out until she gets pissed off and takes something personal again. We just gotta hold out. She's gonna crack. Don't worry, she's gonna crack. And when I started not cracking, I felt a panic in my body. I'm like, oh, that's how I know we're starting to get some die-offs. The cracking is starting to loosen up. Then I ended up releasing mucoid plaque. I'm like, okay, 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 okay. But there's going to be waves to this. You spent 35 years building these patterns and these habits of coping. A 40-day juice fast is going to get you through the door. It's going to enlighten you. It's going to get you compliments. It's going to get you a magnetism. It's going to give you attraction. It's going to give you breakthroughs. It's going to give you clarity. It's going to give you perspective. Yes, it's going to give you all of that. But having the patience of knowing that this will take layer by layer, we're going to take this layer by layer, and being willing, all you got to show is you putting your hiking boots on, that you're willing to go through the valley, through the journey. And for some reason, it's not that hard. Once you like just release the resistance, release it. We talked about that yesterday of how to just let emotions flow through you. You're going to have anger. As you're processing all the old residue in your colon, in your stomach, in your intestines, the emotions that were held in those areas as well, that were trapped in those areas, body keeps score, are also going to want to finally be metabolized. I've had things come out my body like, yeah, that looks like anger. That looks like comparison. That looks like jealousy. That looks like stubbornness. That looks like resentment. Yeah, leaving your body. Sometimes you see it, the physical entities, the physical results of that, which is freaking wild. Do you really know what's in you? No. I'm going to tell you now. If you've never done an extended fast, no, you don't know. You think you know, but you have no idea. This is the diary. You remember that show? Some common needs that we struggle with of instead of saying, why do I want this food? I think the better question is to ask, what do I actually need right now? If I want to feel comfortable, do I need emotional soothing? If I want to feel connection, am I feeling lonely? If I want to rest, which is what I'm allowing myself to actually do tonight. I'm going to sleep early tonight. Girl, you need sleep. You need rest. Trust that the resources will come regardless. You're exhausted. Rest. Rest. And see what comes to you. If you're bored, did you need stimulation? If you're overwhelmed, do you need control? You don't need that baby back rib. You need to name the feeling and accomplish it in another way. Cravings are specific, but the need underneath them is even more specific. When you're building new ways to meet each need, this is going to be, it's not a universal. This is just kind of what's helped me, just to give you ideas so you can actually test these theories, and then come up with your own plan. Come up with what better suits you. If you need comfort, I like to wrap myself up in a towel that's been in the dryer, or a blanket that's been in the dryer, or slow down your breathing. You're probably panting right now. Do a box breathing session real quick for 30 seconds. If you have a Apple Watch, mine is charging right now. You have a breathing app to remind you every few hours to set aside some time. You're not only breathing in oxygen, you're breathing in consciousness, you're breathing in nitrogen, you're breathing in carbon. All the aspects of what makes up the universe also makes up you. You are made of carbon, you are made of hydrogen, you are made of nitrogen. What's the fourth one? What's the fourth one? Fourth one. Carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen. What's the fourth one, dear? You're made of it. And so is the universe. Those are the elements of the universe. Isn't that wild? You are literally breathing in the universe as the universe. Touch. I like to put my hand on my chest. That makes me feel very calm. I also sometimes like to put my hand on my womb or my stomach. That makes me feel really, really calm. And just rubbing it. Comfort, soothing is your nervous system's experience. If your nervous system is out of whack, you really need to learn how to comfort yourself, how to be your own safety, how to be your own home. Stop looking at other people to provide you safety and loyalty and truth. Be that, and you will attract that. You've heard that millions and millions and millions of times. I'm just reiterating. Yeah, actually, this stuff actually works. Yeah, it's the truth. If you need connection, just like I'm talking to my friend tonight, we schedule a time. We both have busy schedules, but I will make time because I know how imperative connection is. Call somebody, speak honestly, tell the truth. If something's bothering you, tell the truth. You don't want to hold that. You don't want to repress that. We're done with that. Catch and release. Catch and release. Sit near somebody. Get in their aura field. Use your discretion. Humans regulate through each other. Go get a massage. If you don't like being touched, go sit next to somebody. I don't know. Go to volunteer at Big Brothers Big Sisters. Go coach a sport. At least, you can at least get a high five. You can at least get a high five. If you need rest, pause. Lie down. Reduce the input. That means put your phone away. I think frequency music is pretty good. But resting means like no phone. No phone, no stimulation, no music. Rest. Rest your ears, rest your eyes, rest your mind. Not all cravings are emotional. Some are just you're fucking exhausted. And your body's like, okay, if we eat, then we'll get energy, right? Because energy is calories, right? No. You're spiritually exhausted. You're mentally exhausted. Food doesn't nourish that part. That's a whole different scenario. That's a whole different category. That's a whole different way of learning. You metabolize experiences. You metabolize feelings. You metabolize emotions. You metabolize sensations. You're not just metabolizing food. But you know that. If you need to ground, get your air. Get your air outside. Go outside. Get some fresh air. Get some sun. Walk barefoot in in some clean grass. In the beach. Slow your body down. Walk backwards. If you need stimulation, go to a workout class. Move your body. Put your phone down. That's not the stimulation. You're just straining your eyes. Change your environments. Go to a new park. Go to a new hiking trail. Anywhere the sun is shining, I'll just pull over and be like, let's get on a walk. I need a recharge. I need a recharge. I need a recharge. The real shift that we're trying to make is internal. The goal isn't to never need comfort. The goal is to become a place where comfort exists. You have to embody what you desire. So when the universal forces at hand, when they're constantly scanning your intention, how you feel, your emotions, your feelings, if you constantly feel, I am safe, I am comforted, I am safe, and I'm certain, it has no choice but to reflect that to you. But if you're thinking lack, if you're thinking, when is this going to be over? If you're thinking dread, if I'm not going to have enough money, hello, hello, hello. Have we not seen, even in a couple of handfuls, I have new experiences every single day because I'm willing to do new things out of my comfort zone every single day. And that includes showing up here on this video. The goal is to become where safety, love, intention, evolution, magnetism, magic exist. You are already created with the elements of the universe that created all of us. How amazing is that? We are made of the same material of the universe. And look what it's created. We were taught to forget how wondrous we are, how capable we are, how absolute, how sometimes I just don't have the words, how expansive, how just miraculous, how powerful human potential is. Powerful. You start getting a little taste when you start cleaning up your diet, your boundaries, your environment, what you put in your body, how you express yourself, what you're willing to tolerate. That's only the tippy top, dear. That's only the tippy top. And that's a result of doing a fast. You just don't have tolerance for nonsense. Not even the nonsense you try to spew for yourself. That is when you become your own source of safety instead of outsourcing it. You need that reminder just as much as I do. And as this develops, your cravings will feel less urgent. Your emotions will feel less overwhelming. You respond instead of react. You trust yourself more. You're willing to allow people in. You're willing to converse with people, strangers. You're willing to put yourself together and carry about how you're represented when you leave your house. You're more willing to go for opportunities that you typically would sabotage yourself out of. You stop needing something outside of you to feel okay inside of you. You stop needing something outside of you to feel okay inside of you. You stop needing the money. You stop needing the relationships. You stop needing the food. You stop needing the attention. You stop needing, you just stop needing. And that's when everything starts getting presented to you. In my class today, I shared how I was offered 3 jobs in the last 2 weeks without a resume, without these people even having a resume. I've been on this job search on and off for a couple of years now. And it was very vulnerable for me to share that in my group. And my coach came back. She always hypes me. Oh my gosh, I get so excited. I hyperventilate when I talk to this woman. I don't know anybody else in this world who I have that reaction with. That's reverence. I have such respect for her. Maybe I should only revere God, but I have high respect for her. She's like, it sounds like she always makes an example of what I say, and I feel so seen and heard. Because everybody's talking about this, but I think you could just feel when you're speaking from the heart. People can feel that. You're willing to be vulnerable. You're willing to be a testimony. And she said, what that sounds like, I didn't even know this term existed. It's called a sophistication bias. Because even with these positions, I'm like, do they really think I could do this? And then I'm like, girl, why not you? It's 2026. People don't have time to placate. People don't have time to just blow smoke up your butt. If somebody's complimenting you and saying you're perfect for this job and we see so many opportunities for you and you're the only one doubting it, what does that say about yourself? What does that say about your mindset right now? So she called it a sophistication bias, which means it has to be hard for me to succeed. It has to be difficult. I have to work. Oh my gosh, I'm already working so much. I can't imagine working even more. What if you work less and make more? People talk about that happening all the time. All the time. Why not you? Why not you have the fucking audacity to continue to bet on yourself? Look what's already coming of it by you betting on yourself. There's a squirrel outside my window. He feels that fire. He feels that heat. This doesn't happen overnight. You're replacing something your nervous system has trusted for years. You will maybe slip. You'll sometimes default. You'll forget. You're human. Each time you choose awareness, you strengthen your path. Even if that still results in doing something you thought you outgrew. That awareness gets thicker and that hole gets more loose, more loose, more loose every single time. This journey, I thought it was about food. I thought it was about my addictions. I thought it was about how I binge eat. I thought it was about me being a junkie and just not being able to put the fucking fork down. It's actually been about learning what I actually need and finally giving that to myself. That changes how you view dating. That changes how you view opportunities you're given. That changes how you show up in friendships. That changes how you show up leaving your door. That changes how you interact with other people. It changes everything. You're not losing comfort, you're just redefining it. So you don't need to fight your cravings. You need to understand them and meet yourself where they're pointing. What do your cravings usually tell you? Comfort, rest, connection, something else. The moment you meet your needs directly instead of outsourcing it, like how I'm about to go to sleep early, the craving, the neurotic feeling, it all stops. So I'm gonna leave it there. I gotta talk to my girlie in about 3 minutes. And I actually want to shower and stuff, hopefully, because she's probably going to sing me to sleep. I'm that, like, wow, I can barely move. I'm on the high from my call, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, you need some sleep. You're gonna get up at 3:30. It's 7:30 now, so I'll probably be in bed by 8:30. I'm probably gonna be in bed as I'm talking to my friend. She understands. I like this setup. Like I like when I can call from my my computer. But we're just here to connect, and I'm here to remind you that you are so sexy, and you are so smart, and you are so brilliant, and you are such a genius, and you can have whatever you want as long as you're willing to have awareness, as long as you're willing to remain curious about yourself, as long as you're willing to understand and have compassion with yourself. As long as you're willing to not shame yourself or get yourself for being human, this is your first time doing this in this body. Give yourself grace, but long for understanding. Have the belief. Your beliefs rewire everything in your life. If you believe it to be hard, it will be hard. If you believe it to be simple and easy, it will be simple and easy. If you believe it to be expansive, it will be expansive. If you believe it to be certain to be life-changing, it will be that too. Be careful where you put your beliefs. Be careful where you put your intentions, because that's actually what's governing your life and what you're able to see and what you're able to hear and what you're able to experience. You can change the view anytime. Love yourself, have grace with yourself, nourish yourself, and everything kind of falls in. I love you so much. I hope you have a great night wherever you are. And you know where to find me tomorrow. You know where to find me tomorrow. Tomorrow for day 77. Happy day 76. I love you so much and have a good night. Bye.